Summer Nightmare, The Other Side of Secret Love and Illusion. Chapter 1 The Arrival of Transfer Students. In the summer when he was 16 years old, the sun shone like gold leaf on the field of No. 1 Middle School. In the midst of the heat wave, No. 1 Middle School welcomed a special transfer student, Su Yingran. She is different from ordinary quiet girls, with a mysterious and unique temperament, as if floating from another world. Yingran has eyes as deep as amethyst, always with an elusive smile. And in school, another name began to be discussed in a low voice, Lu Xingchuan. He is a boy from a northern mountain city, with fair skin and short inky hair. He is neither tall nor short, but he exudes an irresistible charm. In just one day, Xingchuan became a man of the school and half of the girls liked it. Among them, the quiet protagonist Mo Qiushui also silently hid his thoughts in his diary and silently admired him. Qiushui never dared to talk to Hoshikawa, she was a coward in love, and she only dared to weave fantasies for herself with words. Whenever the sun sets, she sits on her windowsill, looking at the field in the distance, imagining the picture of walking side by side with Hoshikawa. Chapter 2 The Prelude to Secret Love. Qiushui's diary is full of all kinds of fantasies about Xingchuan. Sometimes, Xingchuan became the knight in her heart, taking her to escape from the shackles of the mortal world. Sometimes, she herself is the lost princess, trapped in the labyrinth of time and space, waiting for redemption. Yingran, look at Hoshikawa's smile, it seems that there is some secret hidden. Shenlan, a friend in the same class, has a mysterious tone and always loves to whisper in Qiushui's ear. Sakura nodded slightly, she seemed to know some about Hoshikawa's background. Hoshikawa is not an ordinary transfer student, from an ancient and mysterious tribe where the ability to control time is spread. Su Yingran herself is also burdened with a strange fate, and her parents were the guardians of the Gate of Time. Qiushui gradually discovered that the abnormalities in the school were not a coincidence. Under the moonlight of the night scene, Hoshikawa and Sakura often disappeared into dark corners, muttering incomprehensible spells. Qiushui's curiosity was gradually ignited, and the crush was mixed with indescribable expectations and fears. Chapter 3 Time Cracks. On a typhoon night, in the wind and rain, Qiushui accidentally discovered a secret passage to the school's old warehouse. She decided to follow Hoshikawa and Sakura ran and wanted to uncover the secret behind them. Walking into the bottomless dark passage, Qiushui felt that time began to become blurred, the air around him seemed to freeze, and even the sound of breathing became harsh. When she pushed open a marked iron door, she was greeted by a crack in space that flashed with blue light. Hoshikawa and Sakura ran were standing in front of the crack, as if they were performing some kind of ritual. Qiushui's heart was beating rapidly, and she suddenly felt like she was being sucked into another dimension. At the moment when the crack opened, the torrent of time swept her in. Scenes of the past, the future, and parallel worlds flashed in front of her eyes, and her consciousness began to blur. Chapter 4 Journey to the Other World. When Qiushui woke up, he found himself in a strange and fantastical world. The sky is a mix of bright red and violets, with huge crystal islands floating in the distance. This is the other world called the other side of time, where time loses its linearity, and the past, present, and future are entangled. Hoshikawa and Sakura Ran had already been waiting for her here. They told Qiushui that the world was being eroded by an ancient evil force, the tide, and their mission was to seal the tide and restore the balance of time. Qiushui was originally just a timid girl, but she was involved in this war across time and space. She began to learn to control time fragments and discovered that there was a powerful force hidden deep within her. Chapter 5 Illusion and Truth. As the adventure progresses, the relationship between Shisui, Hoshikawa, and Sakuran becomes complex and nuanced. Xingchuan's identity is revealed. He is actually the last bloodline of Shishio, born with corrupted time energy, and his heart is torn between justice and darkness. Sakura Ran's secret is gradually revealed. She was originally a descendant of the Guardian of Time, shouldering the heavy responsibility of guarding the balance between the other world and the real world. The power of autumn water is the only key that can purify the dark bloodline of Xingchuan. Intricate emotions arise between the three, and crushes, trust, and betrayal are intertwined into a web that is difficult to let go. In the bizarre illusion trials, Qiushui experienced inner fear and confusion, and also saw multiple possibilities in the future. She began to understand that true courage is not fearlessness, but daring to face the shadows in her heart. Chapter 6 The Battle of the Tide. Finally, the three of them came to the core of the tide, a black bell tower floating in the void. Time completely collapsed here, and space was distorted into countless fragments floating and floating. Hoshikawa once fell under the temptation of dark forces and engaged in a fierce showdown with Kiyoshui and Sakuran. Kiyoshui used her newly learned time purification power to awaken the light in Xingchuan's heart. At the last moment, Sakura gave her life to seal the main body of Shiseo and return time to order. Hoshikawa and Kiyoshui walked out of the broken clock tower side by side, and the world under the setting sun returned to calm again. Chapter 7 The Tale of Summer. Returning to the real world, Chu Shui found that the fantasy journey seemed to be just a dream. However, an extra ancient diary in her hand and an amethyst ring left to her by Hoshikawa proved that everything was true. Hoshikawa fell into a deep sleep due to sealing the tide, and Kiyoshui guarded him and decided to continue learning the secrets of time to protect the balance between the two worlds. At the end of summer, the field of No. 1 middle school was still lively, and the sunset dyed the sky red. Chu Shui looked into the distance and silently thought in his heart, one day, when you wake up from the dream, love will bloom again. Chapter 8 The Sleeping Guardian. Xingchuan fell asleep, as if swallowed up by the vortex of time, and the whole world seemed to be missing something. Chu Shui would go to the hospital ward every day to guard him, holding the amethyst ring in his hand. The ring emitted a faint light, as if silently calling for something. However, the world is not calm because of this. Although the cracks of time are sealed, a trace of darkness is still ready to move in the shadows. Suyin Ground's death has become an indelible scar, and it is also like a key, opening a new prologue to the story. One night, Chu Shui saw Sakura ran again in her dream. Dressed in a silver-white robe, she stood at the junction of light and darkness, her expression serious and solemn. Autumn water, the other side of time is not completely peaceful. The embers of the tide are awakening, and only you can stop this catastrophe. Yin Ground's voice flowed through her heart like a clear spring. When Chu Shui woke up, her palms were wet, and she understood that this was not just a dream, but a real warning. Chapter 9 The Beginning of Vision. In the days that followed, strange phenomena began to appear in the school. The clock in the classroom suddenly stopped, and time seemed to stand still for a few seconds. Students occasionally see blurry figures briefly, like ghosts traveling through time and space. Kiyoshui told her friend Shen Lan about these visions, but Lan was just worried that Kiyoshui was too tired and thought she was in too much fantasy. At this moment, another mysterious figure appeared. Her name is Yexianying. She comes from an ancient family in the east and has the ability to control space. She seems to know the story of Kiyoshui and Hoshikawa well, and brings an important message. The power of the tide is not isolated, it is closely related to the larger cosmic order. Yexianying invited Chu Shui to her family's secret palace to find the eternal crystal that could truly seal Xichao. Chapter 10 Space Maze. Chu Shui, Shen Lan, and Yexianying embarked on a journey to find the eternal crystal together. This journey is full of unknowns and dangers, and they have traversed layers of space mazes, which seem to have countless doors, and behind each door is a different fragment of time and space. In a time and space that strayed into an illusion, Kiyoshui saw his future self, a lonely guardian with resolute eyes but full of sadness. This made her realize that the road ahead was full of sacrifices and choices. Shen Lan also showed her hidden power in the illusion, being able to heal the spiritual damage caused by the distortion of time and space. It turned out that she was not only Kiyoshui's friend, but also one of the guardians chosen by fate. Chapter 11 Friendship and Betrayal. Just when the three of them were about to approach the core of the eternal crystal, Yexianying suddenly revealed his true face. She was originally a servant of Shiseo, and was forced to pretend to approach Kiyoshui, intending to seize the power of the eternal crystal and bring Shiseo back to life. Kiyoshui and Shen Lan were shocked by the sudden betrayal, but they quickly calmed down and resisted with each other's trust and strength. Fierce battles erupt in the warped space, and the laws of time and space twist wildly around them. Chu Shui used time purification to block Xian Ying's power, while Shen Lan used healing techniques to stabilize their hearts. However, Ye Xianying's retreat means that a greater crisis awaits. Chapter 12 The Choice of Fate. Finally, Qie Shui came to the temple where the eternal crystal was located. The crystal emits a dazzling light, as if it contains the time and space of the entire universe. The guardian of the temple was an ancient time messenger named Helian Xuanyu, who told Qie Shui that the price of sealing the tide was that she would forever guard the order of time and become the new guardian of time, unable to return to the lives of ordinary people. This choice plunged Qie Shui into a deep struggle. She misses Xing Chuan and wants to return to the simple life she once had, but she also understands that only by accepting this fate can she truly protect everyone. Finally, she clutches the amethyst ring and accepts her status as a guardian. The light engulfed her figure, and her body began to merge with time. Chapter 13 The Time of Rebirth. Qie Shui has become the new guardian of time. Her vision travels through the past and the future, and feels the endless pulse of the universe. Xing Chuan finally woke up from his sleep, but his memory was blurred, and only Qie Shui's figure was clear. The moment they reunite, time seems to stop, and all the pain and regret turn into a gentle wind. In the journey of guarding time, Qie Shui is no longer the cowardly girl, but the goddess who controls fate and love. She stands side by side with Hoshikawa, guarding the balance between the two worlds and the original crush. Chapter 14 The Rift of Time. Qie Shui, who has become the guardian of time, is growing in power, but she finds that the rift in time is still expanding, and it seems that an unknown force is secretly stirring. This force does not belong to the tide, but comes from the invasion of another parallel world. One day, Qie Shui unconsciously triggered a rift on the sidelines, and she saw a girl who looked exactly like herself, a mirror image of Qie Shui, but with black pupils and a cold aura. Mirror Qie Shui told her that the balance of the two worlds was broken, and if it was not repaired, the two worlds would devour each other. Chu Shui felt deeply pressured, knowing that it was not enough for himself, and he had to find more companions to protect time and space together. Chapter 15 Summoning Alliances. Qie Shui begins to search for guardians from different time and space. She summons the mechanical warrior Wind Owl from the future, the ancient and mysterious time sage Shadow Refiner, and the girl Limu who can control dreams from the rift in time and space. This team is like the blade of time, gradually repairing the rift and preventing the fusion of the two worlds. However, the mirror image Qie Shui and the dark forces behind her boundary of time continue to obstruct. In the team, Qie Shui and Lai Men have a deep friendship, and the two often fight side by side in dreams and support each other. The Shadow Refiner is like a strict teacher, guiding Chu Shui to master the deeper mysteries of time. Behind the mechanical body of the Owl of the Wind hides a sad past, which makes the bond between the team members stronger. Chapter 16 The Mirror Conspiracy. Qie Shui, the mirror of the boundary of time, reveals her purpose. She wants to replace Qie Shui and rule all time and space. The dark erosion she brings causes abnormal time reversal and stagnation in the real world. The decisive battle is imminent, and Qie Shui and the mirror Qie Shui face off in a fragmented realm of time and space. The mirror-like figures of the two are intertwined in the time spiral, and the offense and defense are inseparable. At the last moment, Xing Chuan woke up from his coma, bringing his own pure time energy to support Qie Shui. The two worked together to launch the final time purification wave and defeated the mirror Qie Shui. Chapter 17 Light and Eternity. The mirror autumn water dissipates, the thread of the boundary of time is lifted, and the balance of time and space gradually returns. Qie Shui realized that guarding time is not about fighting alone, but about mutual support and trust. Hoshikawa confessed to Qie Shui, and the two of them, who had gone through this long journey together, finally confessed their feelings to each other. The two held hands, guarding the flow of time and the hope of the future. The guardians returned to their respective time and space, while Shisui and Hoshikawa decided to temporarily hide their identities and return to normal campus life. But she knew that she would reappear as long as time needed. underscore 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 un. Finale. The summer sun shone on the field of the first middle school again, and Kiyoshui and Hoshikawa sat under the tree. Kiyoshui smiled and closed the diary full of secret loves and adventures. No matter how difficult the future is, we will go on together. Xing Chuan said. Kiyoshui nodded, understanding in her heart, love and protection are the most beautiful miracles in her life. Underscore 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 un. Postscript. It's a journey of courage and growth, how a timid girl finds her strength and love in the torrent of time and space. Everyone has their own time guardian in their hearts, guarding their dreams and hopes. When you also feel confused and afraid, you might as well open your diary and see the courage hidden between the lines, because the real miracle is never given by others, but created by yourself.